We'll call Max Baker, Your Honor.
Witness sworn.
What's your name?
My name is Max Baker.
And Max, if you would, tell the judge where you live.
I live in Logansport, Indiana.
Okay. And Max, how are you involved in this circumstance? Just give the judge some background.
I began working as an intern at Brad Rossi's office around November last year on this case, just helping him with the burden. There's a lot of work to do on this case, so he needed an intern to help lighten the load a bit.
Okay. So tell the judge what your highest level of education is.
I have my high school diploma from Logansport High School and I'm currently a junior at Indiana University Bloomington.
All right. So you'll be graduating after next year, right?
Yes
or no?
Yes. Sorry.
No, that's all right. Had you worked in other law offices, even before you worked for me?
Yes. Last summer I worked with Mark Lehman, an appeals attorney in Logansport, Indiana, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay. And do you have some general, intention to pursue an occupation in the legal industry?
Yes. Once I finish my undergraduate degree, I hope to attend law school.
Okay. And just tell the judge generally what the nature of your involvement has been in this case.
Well, it began with helping with the change of venue motion, and then, once we started getting discovery in, obviously the discovery in this case is pretty massive, so I began to help process that and digest a lot of that information. That is my main role, but one of my roles has also been helping Brad visit and speak with Rick on occasion.
Okay. And is it also true that you've been working with some of the people, most of the people behind me that are kind of sitting here, part of our support staff?
Yeah. It's kind of been a group effort, yeah.
Okay. Have you also been privy to some of the discussions and conversations about Mr. Allen's detention situation and trying to get him moved to another facility?
Yes, I have.
Have you had a chance to visit? I think you just said you did, but have you? How many times would you estimate that you visited with Mr. Allen up to today's date?
I have visited Rick 4 times while he's been incarcerated.
And can you generally just give the judge some idea of the time frames? I don't expect you to recite the exact dates, but...
Yeah.
Just give her some idea.
Absolutely. So the first visit was on my Christmas break, it was around Christmas time of December last year, and then my last 3 visits have all been in the month of May of this year, once I got back from college.
So 1 visit around Christmas and 3 in the month of May?
Yeah.
Tell the judge, just for you and, is it fair to say that you visited with me? We've gone together every time that you've gone?
Yes.
All right. Tell the judge what it takes for you and I just generally to get in Rick's airspace, to get to a place where we can talk to him.
Do you want me to it has changed during my visits?
Well, let's talk about distance and time and things like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's about an hour-and-a-half drive from Logansport to Westville. That's been a little longer recently cause they've been doing some construction on the roads in between here and there, but yeah. I mean, usually we have to call and give them advanced notice that we will be going
And so when we get to the prison, give the judge some idea of kind of what initially occurs. Well, let's just strike that. Let's talk about the first visit back in December. You recall that visit?
Yes.
Tell the judge what you remember about us getting access to Mr. Allen during the first visit.
Out of all the times we went, it was the least complicated process. Basically, we just kind of walked in. Rossi showed his identification. I kind of, embarrassingly, forgot my wallet that day, left it at the office, so I didn't have my identification with me, so I told the lady at the front desk my name, and then that's really all we had to do, and then we were put in a van and driven to Rick's area of the prison.
What did we take with us, if you recall?
Laptops, phones, work material, all different sorts of things. None of our bags were searched or anything like that.
Yeah. There wasn't any kind of shakedown that occurred in the front at the
Absolutely not, no.
front gate or anything like that.
No.
All right. And where did we visit with him, if you recall?
We visited, I do believe it was the captain's office. It was somebody's office. It was a pretty large room with a large kind of table in the middle of it.
And how would you describe Rick's physical appearance and demeanor at that visit?
I mean, he kind of looked like he had always looked. He was not long into his stay at the correctional facility, so not much about his physical appearance had really changed addition. He was still, had some weight on him, still looked healthy, his demeanor was pretty normal, albeit, he was obviously undergoing a lot of stress and that sort of thing, but he looked healthy and normal from what I saw.
And in terms of communicating with him, not specifically, but was he communicative, I should say?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Were we having productive exchanges, attorney-client exchanges?
Yes.
And tell the judge what your call about the presence of other officers during the first visit, other prison staff.
So, yes, Rick, every time I basically went, he's been escorted by I would say 4 to 6 guards, and, during our meetings, usually some guards hang around where we were meeting. The first meeting, the door was left slightly ajar and a couple of guards were propped up outside, and I knew that cause I could hear their kind of conversations from time to time.
Okay. And so, eventually, YOU said that the next 3 visits you had were in the month of May. Yes or no?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Okay. And let's talk about those visits. Tell the judge, were there changes in the way things occurred at the prison in May?
Yes, there were massive differences.
Okay. Let's talk to the judge about the front gate and kind of what changed there in terms of us getting there.
Oh, yeah. So at the front gate, identification was absolutely required, bags were searched. We were not allowed to take our phones in, we were not allowed to take our watches in, we were not allowed to take laptops or computers in. We got patted down by an officer there, had to go through metal detectors. It was a completely different process, yes.
What were we required to do with our phones?
We were required to leave them in the car. We couldn't
even have them in the building at that point?
Yeah. I remember you had asked if we could put them in a locker and that request was denied. They have lockers for personal belongings right next to the check-in.
Okay. And so where did we meet with Rick, if you recall, during these May visits?
I believe we met in a therapy. It was another type of office, but this one was much, much smaller. It was, I would say, about half the size of the original one.
Okay. Can you just describe to the judge, as we're sitting here, to the best of your ability, like how big of a room are we talking about?
I would say 12 by 6, not big at all,
Okay. Adequate to meet somebody, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But it was a different room altogether?
Yes.
Okay. And describe to the judge what his escort was like, if it was any different than the first time, to the room.
I would, this time there was a video camera that was recording Rick. One of the guards was walking behind him, recording him as he was being taken to our meeting room.
All right. And when you said a video camera, it's kind of old-fashioned, but it was a camcorder. Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
All right. And so is this the first time you'd ever seen this video camera as part of this narrative?
Yes.
All right. Tell the judge how the video camera was employed, so to speak, by the prison staff throughout the visit.
So during our conversations with Rick, there was this pretty big window that overlooked the room. Rick was sat in a plastic chair with no armrests in the middle of the room, and for the entirety of our conversations with our client, the camcorder was held outside the window, kind of bearing down directly at him.
How far was the camcorder from your notepad and your body, so to speak, your person, if you could estimate?
It was a couple of feet. I kind of had to, because the desk was behind, I kind of had to lean over, just to make sure that none of my notes were being.
All right. And so is it. Did I actually? Do you recall me asking to have him sit? Well, strike that. Were there other chairs in the room?
Yes.
Tell the judge what the room was like.
So you have the desk, which I was sitting at, which was right next to that window where he was being recorded from. That desk had kind of a spinny office chair, and then, to the left of that, by where the door we entered was, there were two just cushion kind of regular chairs, and then there was another desk to the right of the room that also had another kind of spinning desk chair.
All right. And so, did I, at some point, make a request to just have him sit in one of the office chairs?
Yeah. In our second visit, you requested that he sit in one of the padded chairs to the left of the room.
All right. What was the reaction?
They told you no, and they brought in the plastic chair for him to sit in that I referenced to earlier without the armrests.
Can you speak up a little bit?
Oh, yeah. They said no, and they brought in the plastic chair that I referenced earlier without the armrests on it.
Okay. Where'd they put the plastic chair?
Right in the middle of the room.
And where was it relative to the camera?
I mean, directly facing the room.
So he's looking, essentially, right into the camera the whole time?
Yes.
How far away was he, if you could estimate?
5-10 feet.
Okay. Pretty close?
Yes.
And so is it fair to say the whole time we're meeting with our client, we've got a video camera sitting right behind your head, basically? On the other side of a window? Yes or no?
Yes.
And presumably, recording what's going on in this room?
Yes.
All right. As far as his circumstances, was he shackled similar to the way he's shackled today?
I would say exactly like how he is today, with the handcuffs with the bar in between them, the ankle cuffs, and then the belly chain.
Okay. So basically, is this the way you've seen him every time you've seen him?
Yes.
All right. And did you feel like in that room that there was any privacy whatsoever when we were meeting with him?
Oh, absolutely not, no.
Did you have any confidence at all that anything we were saying was that?
No.
Did we have an attitudinal meeting in that room at some point? A second one?
Yes, yeah.
All right. And do you recall there being any differences between the first meeting and the second meeting?
Not, too many, maybe a couple. I know when we went with Andy, that was kind of the main difference in my mind.
Okay. All right. Do you recall the environment in that room? Whether or not it was hot? Cold?
On one of the occasions, it was a hot day out, but it was about 90-95 degrees in that room. I left the conversation kind of dripping in sweat, basically.
And the entire time, Mr. Allen is sitting in a plastic chair in the middle of the room facing a camera, right?
Yes.
With shackles on, leg shackles, and a belly chain?
Yes.
Had that ever changed,
No.
Up in those two visits?
No.
All right. Did we visit again more recently?
Yes.
Approximately when was that?
I think the 30th of May.
All right. So just about a week or two ago. Yes or no?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Tell the judge what the purpose of that visit was.
That visit consisted of a person visit with Kathy and her husband. We wanted to get Rick to see his wife, 'cause we thought it would be a kind of a mood booster for him, help his cause.
Well, let's talk about that. During the second and third visits, Did you have a chance to observe his demeanor and his state of health?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Rick looked and sounded absolutely awful during those second and third meetings, just he looked weaker. I mean, you could see it today, he's lost so much weight. He just seems fragile. When he talks, he's much quieter than he used to be, seems much more anxious about things, much more repetitive in his speaking, not really able to respond to questions consistently. I mean, it's like 1 out of every 10 questions we asked him we were getting a genuine response to.
So was there really any ability to have a rational exchange with him in those 2 meetings?
Not much at all, no.
All right. So did we arrange this meeting with his wife to try and maybe pull him out of this funk?
Yes.
And that's what happened a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Tell the judge what you recall about us getting into the prison during the meeting, and what was allowed and not allowed.
The rules changed a little bit during that meeting and we were allowed to take a computer in with a flash drive, but we were still not allowed to have phones, no watches, if I do recall correctly, and then we were still patted down and searched before we went in.
All right. And when? I recall there being a visit where actually there was, you were not gonna be allowed in at one point. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that.
Which visit was that?
That was the third visit, the one we went with Andy. For some reason, they said I was not on the guest list or something to that nature, and even when I showed them my identification, my driver's license, they informed me that I was not going to be able to go in until you and Andy made a couple calls, and about 30 minutes later, they let me go with you guys.
So in fairness, we got it worked out?
Yes.
But it was different than the times before, right?
Yes.
All right. And so, getting back to this last visit, tell the judge where we visited Mr. Allen.
So I'm guessing the room we visited him is the typical visitation.
So they brought Rick in, right?
Tell
Tell the judge what he looked like in terms of how he was being restrained is probably the word I was looking for earlier.
Yeah. I mean, he was still kind of restrained how he kind of always has been. On this occasion, though, I noticed that Rick's entire face was bruised and kind of looked, scarring a little bit. I mean, he looked to be in horrible shape. Kind of looked like he got a really bad suntan, but you could tell that it was all bruising.
Okay. Let me go back to one of those visits real quick, and let me ask you about his clothing. Was there a time when you noticed? You pointed out that there was a considerable change in his appearance?
Yes.
Tell the judge what you remember about that.
On the second and third visits, Rick's clothing appeared to be brand new each time, like they had just gotten his outfit out of the box. He wore white sneakers each time, which were extremely bright, looked like they had just been bought at the store, something like that. So there was a massive change in the quality of clothes he was wearing from my first visit to my second.
And did those occur after I filed this motion alleging some of these concerns that we had?
Yes.
All right. Did that strike you as being kind of odd?
Yes, yeah.
So then, going back to this last visit, did we make arrangements for Kathy, through the prison, for her to visit?
Yes.
Okay. And so tell the judge where they were seated, and what the logistics were surrounding their actual visit.
Okay. So they were seated kind of to the right side of the room, directly across from each other. One of the guards that brought Rick in was seated 5 to 10 feet away from them, basically close enough to hear, I would assume, every aspect of their conversation, whether they were whispering or not. There was another guard on the far left side and then 2 guards at their desks, who I think are normally stationed in that area, and then a couple of guards came in and out while they were meeting.
These 2 gentlemen you mentioned that were stationed on either side of him, were those people that routinely transport him?
Yeah, those were the guards that I have noticed routinely transport Rick, yeah.
Okay. And so was he allowed to have some interaction with Kathy?
Yes. They were allowed to hug at the beginning and end of their meeting.
Okay. Was he shackled?
He was not handcuffed at that time.
Okay. This is the first we've ever met with him when he didn't have any at least handcuffs on, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing him walk in the actual facility?
Yes.
We were already there, right?
Yes.
When he came in, describe to the judge what you saw.
When Rick walked in, the guards that were escorting him took him past Kathy to the left side of the room and brought him into this room. About 5 to 10 minutes passed and then Rick came out with a completely different outfit.
Okay. So they changed him, his clothes or something, right?
Yep.
How was he restrained when they brought him in initially?
Full shackles, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So basically, he has leg shackles on, right? That were restricting his ability to walk?
Yes.
And he's got these hand shackles on, right?
Yes.
He's always looking like I'm looking, with one hand over the other, as he is now?
Yes.
And he had a belly chain. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Do you recall them having a leash actually attached to him?
Yes. On this occasion, they did have a chain leash that was attached to him, yes.
And where was that? What was that? What was going on with the leash?
I just saw it was connected to the belly chain.
Okay. Was an officer holding it, walking him, basically?
Oh, yes.
Did it look like walking a dog?
Yes.
Did I say something to them?
Yes.
Was I pretty upset by that?
Yes, you were.
So basically, he's walking around a jail, right?
Yes.
Like I am, small steps, and he's got a leash, with somebody walking him on a leash?
Yes.
Am I exaggerating?
Not really, no.
How long did he meet with Kathy?
About an hour.
All right. And as we sat there, did the officers ever leave and go anywhere?
No.
I mean where he would have had some privacy.
No. The one officer that was next to him stayed next to him the entire time.
All right. Was there anybody else in the building other than us and the people you described?
No. They had closed down the visitation center for the hour, so it was completely dead quiet in the room. I mean, me and Brad were pretty far away from where Rick and Kathy was, but even at times, I could hear aspects of their conversation.
Okay.
That's how quiet it was.
It was quiet in there, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what were your observations of his physical condition at that point? Was it any different than before?
Yeah. His entire face was bruised, as I briefly mentioned earlier, and I mean, every single time I visited him, and a couple weeks passed, he just looked weaker and weaker, and ts time, he looked, awful, his entire face was bruised and yeah.
Is it fair to say Kathy was pretty emotional?
Absolutely, yeah.
She hadn't seen him in 7 or 8 months, right?
Yeah.
While she was visiting with him, was there a point in time when she was just crying?
Yes, yeah.
And do you recall either her or somebody asking for some Kleenex, Rick or her?
Yes.
And what did they give her?
They gave her a couple pieces of toilet paper.
And tell the judge, do you recall, at some point, there being a request to just get some water?
Yes.
And who made the request?
Rick or Kathy, I don't exactly remember.
Okay. Well, what was the reaction?
There was a no.
Just a flat no.
Yeah, the request was denied, yeah.
How far were we sitting from a water fountain?
Not far at all. The officer that was right next to them was also right next to a water fountain. It was, quite literally, right behind him.
How many requests were made for water while we were there?
2, if I remember correctly.
And what was the response?
Both were denied.
And there's 7 or 8 full vending machines with Mountain Dew in.
Yes.
How'd that visit end?
We spoke with Rick briefly and then, after Kathy and him had spoken, and then he was taken back to his cell, I'm assuming, by the same officers that had escorted him in.
And then we departed?
Yes.
And we haven't been back?
We have not been back, no.
Nothing further.
Mr. McClelland.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Baker, you and I spoke before court. I think you're 20 years old. Is that right?
Yes.
Besides working on this case with Mr. Razi, have you worked on other criminal cases with him?
Yes.
And during your work on those other cases, have you had an opportunity to visit DOC facilities?
I visited other facilities. I'm not exactly sure whether or not they were DOC facilities.
Have you visited the Cass County Jail?
Yes.
Okay. Have you visited jails in other cities?
Yes.
Okay. During your time doing those visitations, did you ever have an opportunity to sit with or visit with somebody that had been accused of murder?
Yes.
And was it someone who'd been accused of murder of 2 girls?
No.
The first visit that you made with Mr. Allen during Christmas of 2022. Is that correct?
Yeah, around that time.
And the demeanor of the conversation between you and Mr. Allen, was that a normal conversation?
Well, obviously a lot was going on in Mr. Allen's life, so he was a little anxious and it wasn't a normal conversation, but it was much more normal than my later conversations.
Let me rephrase. Did you introduce who you were?
Yes.
Did he introduce who he was?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And then you visit him, it looks like 3 times in May. Is that correct?
Yes.
The first visit in May, was the interaction the same as it was at Christmas?
Absolutely not. He didn't even remember who I was.
And then, the third and fourth visit, what were those interactions like?
Similar. Even those times he didn't remember who I was.
And let me back up. Did you know Richard Allen before you got involved with this case?
No.
And so fair to say that if you didn't know him before you visited him on Christmas of 2022, you didn't know what was normal behavior, what his normal look was like, you didn't know what normal for him was. Is that fair in saying?
For him, yeah.
Okay. You're basing all the answers that you've given today on what you consider normal.
I was more trying to compare between the different visits.
But you throw out a lot of adjectives in there. You know, this was abnormal. This was normal. You're basing that on your experience, not your experience with Mr. Allen?
I believe I'm basing it on my multiple experiences and comparing them.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Mr. Razi.
Max, you've done hard work on this case, haven't you?
Yes.
And seen a lot of photos and video, and watched a lot of interviews?
Yes.
Let me hand you what's been marked as Defendant's B. You recognize this photo?
Yes.
It's a picture of Mr. Allen a year or 2 prior to this.
Yeah.
And is this what you believe that he looked like when he was arrested based on everything that you've seen in the thousands of pages of discovery?
Yeah.
Did he look like that in May, when we started visiting him?
No.
Looks like he does now, right?
Yes.
Move to admit B. Defendant's Exhibit B offered.
Maybe a couple foundational questions, Judge.
Yes.
Did you take that picture?
No.
How do you know when that picture was taken?
To be fair, I don't.
Okay. So you're just being told it was taken a year or 2 by Mr. Razi.
Yes.
You don't know who took that picture?
No.
I don't have any other questions, Judge. No objection to the photo.
All right. I'll show Defendant's B is admitted without objection. Defendant's Exhibit B admitted.
Nick asked you about whether or not, I'm sorry, Mr. McClelland asked you whether or not you had ever been to visit with somebody that was accused of murdering 2 girls. You remember that question?
Yes.
You ever been to visit with somebody that was accused of murdering a woman?
Yes.
And do we do that all the time?
We've done that quite regularly since I started.
Yeah. Where do we do that?
I mean, it's nothing like how we meet with Rick. I mean,
Yeah, but where does that occur?
It could occur multiple. It could occur in a room outside of the courtroom when we're at a hearing for a case,
Okay.
It's occurred in very more normal locations.
All right. Have we visited the Tippecanoe County Jail a whole bunch?
Yes.
In the last 6 months?
Yes.
And is that involving a case involving death?
Yes.
And when we go visit with that client, tell the judge what the circumstances are like.
That client is, by no means, shackled. She's in a completely normal state of mind given her circumstances. She is able to sit right next to us, able to assist in her defense, write stuff down, all different sorts of things.
Is it? What kind of room are we in?
I mean, we're just in normal kind of visitation room, I would assume, or we were in a rec room I think the one time we visited the Tippecanoe jail.
Right. There's a table in there?
Yes.
And we're all sitting around the table?
Yes.
Got discovery laid out on the table?
Yes.
Having discussions with the client?
Yes.
Interacting in much more unrestrained circumstances?
Absolutely, yes.
I don't have anything further.
Mr. McClelland.
So, Mr. Baker, let's just address the elephant in the room. Your testimony here today is implying that if Mr. Allen were in another facility his health would better, his state of mind would be better, his clothes would be better. And that's because you visited other people in other facilities and they're in a better situation, in your opinion, than Mr. Allen's?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Baker. You may step down.